We love living local. We are Scott and Kelly Grates, third generation Central New Yorkers who live, work, and play right here in the heart of New York.
The mission of this podcast is to shine a spotlight on the people, places, and events that make our community an amazing place to live.
We don't run ads, we don't talk politics. Our only ask is that you help us spread the love that we have for this community by sharing these episodes with your neighbors.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode.
All right, we have today superstar Central Valley Academy. I don't want to just paint you as a basketball player because you're so much more than that, and we're going to get to know you a little bit deeper. But Mr. Deacon Judd, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, man. So let's start with basketball because we're knee deep into basketball season. Talk to me about how you got your start, or when you got your start.
The first year I started playing was when our high school merged from Mohawk and Alien. They merged, and then that first year we became the Central Valley Thunder, and that was what, I think fourth or fifth grade, sixth grade maybe, so around there.
You didn't start playing basketball in fourth grade?
I mean, I did like stuff with like my dad, but nothing like serious until fourth, fifth grade.
I think they did like developmental stuff at a young age, right? Like at Fisher, you guys would do like Saturday skills and drills, stuff like that.
Yeah, my dad would take us up there for like an hour and a half and run us through like some shooting and dribbling stuff.
When did you realize you were really good at it?
Probably my eighth grade year when I got asked to play junior varsity. I started the season out like on the bench, and then halfway through the season I got asked to start, and obviously I was like, yeah. And then, that kind of just gave me the confidence I needed, and then I rode it all the way up through high school. So it's kind of been uphill from there.
All right, so you started around fourth grade, made the JV team, started in eighth. Was there a certain moment that had a particular big impact on you, or a moment that you look back on and say this was like a defining moment for me in my basketball career?
Yeah, probably my sophomore year on varsity. We traveled to West Hill, which was like a super underdog game. Like we were not supposed to win that game, and we were trailing, I think, like 16 or 18 at half, and then we battled our way back. And then I don't want to sound too cocky, but it was a close game, and I knocked down 2 free throws to kind of seal the deal. So that was kind of when I was like, all right, like I can do this stuff.
Listen, man, we asked you to be a guest. We're featuring you. Be as cocky as you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like what kind of pressure? Like you can talk about that a little bit. Like in basketball, like when you're on that line and everyone is looking at you, especially at the end of the game, like what goes through your head when you're like, what kind of self-talk do you have to like pump yourself up? Or
to be honest, I kind of just try to keep my head clear. Like I'll like think about something. I'll be like, nah, like stop. And then like, I don't know. I just kind of try to keep a clear head, like kind of tune everything out. Cause at the end of the day, like it's just basketball. Like I don't want to like focus on something else and then miss a shot because I'm not thinking about the shot. So I kind of just try and keep my head clear.
Yeah.
That's
breathe.
Solid life advice. Deep breath. It's only a moment in time. What's the worst case scenario? No big deal. So that's good stuff there.
Player that you looked up to.
I'm going to say kind of say like the whole team. Cause like when I was younger, like 6th, 7th grade, my uncle would have these open gyms and then I'd go to them and it'd be us and then like the varsity team, and just seeing the varsity team like play and like going to their games. It's just like it's really cool atmosphere to like see them playing, and then you're like, damn, like that's gonna be me someday. So that's something to look up to for sure. And then on top of that, it's just like seeing them work every day kind of made me excited to get to that level.
Awesome. Yeah, modeling good behavior, good stuff. What do you love most about playing at Central Valley?
Probably the community, and like if it's a big game, like people will come out and support you. Last year we played Clinton. It wasn't even like the semifinals or the finals or anything. It was Clinton in the second round of sectionals. We had a home game, and the place was so packed that people had to stand on the indoor track up above the bleachers. So that was like people were like standing like under the basket in the doorways on the top of the indoor track. Like it was just packed. So that was definitely a really cool atmosphere to play in. So the community and like just like the love that you get walking through the halls after a good game as well. Every teacher knows your stat line, like the score of the game. So it's pretty cool.
Feel like a star?
Yeah,
You should.
All right, so let's talk about it. You've been playing on travel teams. Obviously, you're talking to college scouts, different coaches. You just scored your 1,000th career points, which puts you 1,000 ahead of how many I scored in my career. So congratulations on that. So all of the attention. I know you're kind of a quiet, modest kid. Does it make you comfortable or uncomfortable?
I'd say I'm pretty comfortable with it now. I mean, even going back to like my sophomore year, we had a pretty solid team, so we had some attention on us, like sophomore, junior, and then this year now, like we've been pretty strong all 3 years. So I feel like we've had some attention since my sophomore year, but we're not like when it first started happening. Yeah, I was like not comfortable with it, but as the years went on, I think I've adapted to it pretty well. Like I think I can handle pretty well.
Good stuff. Let's talk about that real quick. Last year, 22-0 regular season, fell short in the sectionals.
Yeah,
Sounds like unfinished business. What are the goals for this year?
sectional championship for sure. I've been talking about it since my sophomore year, and it's got to get done. So I think
That's awesome.
I think we have the tools this year. I mean, we lost a lot last year, obviously. We're not going to go 22-0, but I think I'm very confident in our squad this year.
Good deal. All right, let's talk about school just for a minute. Favorite subject in school?
Probably history. I'm in American government this year, so it's cool to kind of like just sit back and like. And I have a really good teacher, super good teacher, Mr. Wiles, and he just explains it super well. So I kind of just like sitting back and listening to like everything that's happened in the past of the U.S. So it's pretty cool.
So let's take that a step further and talk about college. You have any decisions made, or are you leaning in a certain direction?
As of right now, no, I do not have any decisions made. I kind of have narrowed down the recruiting process, so like it's not as hectic as it was like my junior year and beginning of senior year. So I've narrowed it down, but I haven't really nothing set in stone.
Want to share some leading contenders?
Hobart is up there for sure. Ithaca, a couple D2s in Maryland, like one or two, and then like Oswego has been reaching out. Uh, St. John Fisher, Utica, the schools like that.
That's our alma mater,
Hoping,
Fisher.
hoping Air Fisher. If you need a plug or an insight, I don't know if I can help at all, but we'll try. We send alumni donations.
You know what you're going to study there?
Probably business, just because if I get like a degree in business, it'll just open up like a lot of opportunities after. Like I don't have to stick to one profession. You know what I mean? It gives you a lot of options after you graduate.
Yeah.
Sure.
So one of our sons is a junior this year in high school, and same exact conversation we just had with him.
Exactly.
Not I don't want to say he's not sure, and we can make a strong argument that we're still not sure what we want to do in our 40s, and that's okay. But to your point, business will open up a lot of different avenues for you. So I like it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about balance. You got a lot going on. You got sports, you got school. I'm guessing you got a few friends. How do you balance it all?
It's pretty hard for the most part, but I kind of just in the summer and even like in the beginning of the year, I kind of schedule my workouts, and then what I would do is I'd carve out time for everything else, like in between or after my workouts. So like I'd schedule a workout in the morning or later in the day, and then like throughout the day I'd go get lunch with my friends, and then at night I usually get my academics done. So kind of just it's not that bad if you just carve out specific time for it.
So Deacon Judd is just dropping life lessons on all the adults that are listening to. We talked about take a deep breath, focus, don't stress too much about things,
Routine,
clear your
carve
head,
out time,
routine,
yeah.
prioritizing tasks. We can learn a lot from you here. Let's talk about different sport. You're a football player as well. How did football help you with your basketball game?
Yeah, so going into football season, it was kind of like I'm playing it because I'm a senior, and like it's like my last ride, so I might as well play it. But like after the fall season, I was super happy I played. Like no regrets. Like I had a blast. Like it was super fun. But I also noticed like after football, like I was probably the most athletic I've ever been. Like it was nuts. I was going to the gym, like in open gyms, just like trying dunks, and it was like I don't know. It was just really cool because I don't know. It did something to my body, which it worked. I just felt like super like strong. Like it was really good.
Have college scouts talked to you about that? Just playing other sports and other things you do besides basketball?
Yeah, they obviously they don't like it, but they say like I mean it's mixed opinions mostly. Some of them will say it's good to have like a different thing in your life, so you don't get burnt out in the one sport that you're going to play in college. But other colleges don't want you to get hurt. Like I'm sure other people get told maybe not to play other sports because they just don't want to get hurt. But
You
I'm
get hurt
happy.
in basketball too, just so you
Yeah,
know.
sure. Yeah.
But to your point, you use different muscles, doing
Mhm.
different things. So I know a lot of college scouts, actually,
Encourage you.
yeah,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do other things. So
All right, so let's talk about the fans. You mentioned it a little bit, that the community support that you have in these games where like the fans are in the stand and it's just loud. Is it helpful? Does it get in your head? Like, how do the fans contribute to your play?
I'd be lying if I said like they didn't creep in there sometimes. Like it just gets so loud sometimes that you can't help but kind of just like think about it and like let it get in your head a little bit. But I think for the most part, I kind of tune it out pretty well.
A lot of people say that like when you're there and it's so loud and you talk to players and they're like, I don't even
Yeah,
yeah,
realize
I
it.
mean, there's at the professional level,
Right.
athletes work with
It's
sports
amazing.
psychologists to actually just not be able to hear things that they'll hear noise, but they don't hear any specifics,
Right. It's so
which
cool.
is a really cool trait.
yeah.
One aspect of your game that you work on the most or that you feel needs the most improvement?
Probably my jump shot or like my three pointer or something. I mean, growing up, like I was not allowed to shoot threes because I was just a tall kid. You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
so I kind of was late to the game in that aspect. So I've definitely been focusing more on like my jump shot and my 3-point shot, especially heading into college because I'm gonna need that there for sure.
One area of the game that's changed, and it's pretty awesome. When we were growing up, way back in the day, 6, 7 footers, or tall 6 footers, 7 footers,
They never took
never
threes.
ever
Yeah, that
took
was
a
unheard of.
three. And now, like the Dirk Nowitzkis,
Yeah.
kind of changed the game. The Europeans, frankly, changed the game
Mhm.
where 7 footers are bombing threes with
Yeah,
accuracy. Awesome.
yeah.
Let's talk about coaches a little bit. You want to talk about have you had the same coach the whole time you've played? Have you experienced different coaches? Is there a favorite coach you have?
Aside from AU, I've kind of had the same couple coaches. I had Eric Moreau, Luke Judd, and then my dad Jamie Judd, and then Thad Luke as well. So those four have kind of coached me up throughout my whole life. But I'd say the coach that's had the most impact on me personally is probably Eric Moreau because he's the one that kind of got me into basketball. I don't know if I would have ever tried out if he didn't ask my dad because like I was just tall, so he asked me to try out and it worked out. So
Yeah.
aside from that, I mean, he like kind of coached me up all the way until high school or like modified started. So I started playing for the school. So he had a
You
huge
just
impact.
rattled off some fierce competitors there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric Moreau likes to lose at nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I think it was so good.
You're walking on the sidewalk with him, he's going to be ahead of
Yeah.
you. All right, we talked a lot about sports. What do you like to do for fun? What's a hobby of yours outside of sports?
Probably just hang out with friends. I mean, I don't think I can name. I don't really have like a hobby. I mean, probably just
Do you
hang out
play
with friends.
video games? Are you into the video games or no?
Yeah, I play a good amount of video games for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, but I'm video games, hang out with my friends. Sometimes we go to Walmart and we'll do a chop at our friend's house. So we just cook and we have judges and then
Oh, that's cool.
it's super cool. Yeah, it's fun. We usually do that a couple times a year. So
Nice.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, 15 minutes already, and we want to be respectful of your time because shockingly, you got to get to practice. So we always end these with what we deem the rapid fire 5 questions, 5 questions that are designed to be quick and easy, rapid fire. So we'll shoot them at you, you shoot them back, and we'll wrap this thing up.
All
all
right.
right,
Any,
sounds good.
any pre-game rituals you have?
I don't know. I
Any
wear the
foods,
same.
any particular foods?
Yeah, I eat peanut butter bread and then I wear my undershirt all day. Like I'll wear the undershirt that I wear underneath
Cool.
my jersey all day at school. So I just have it on all day. So that's probably
Is
it.
it the same undershirt or do you switch it up?
I have like two or three, but I like when
Okay.
I wake up in the morning, I just put it on and then I put like my clothes over it.
I like it.
Okay.
You get nervous before big games?
Yeah, for sure. But then the nervous like turns into, I guess you could say confidence, and then goes from there.
Yeah.
You have a go-to song that gets you fired up?
Probably "Those Eyes" by New West.
All right.
I was confident it would be a song we never heard
Yeah.
of. We'll check it out now, though.
Yeah.
What's one big goal that you've set for yourself in the future?
Play at some level past college.
Awesome.
Nice. That's a
Mm.
good goal. All right. What's one thing that you enjoy most about growing up in Central New York?
I love the community, like just the overall community. Like obviously people have their separate communities, but I think overall as like New York State, I think we're pretty bonded by the state, and I also love the food as well. That's
Yeah.
a big thing for me.
It'll keep you coming back,
Yeah.
even if it's just to visit. The
Yeah.
food, we've been all over the country, all over the world. The food's second to none around
Yeah.
here. I was gonna throw in there who your favorite teacher was, but I didn't want to put anyone on the spot.
Mrs.
All
Grace.
time, all time favorite teacher. I think when you start playing beyond college, you got to remember who set all this up in the very foundational years, first grade.
Taught you how to read, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Wouldn't be here without you, Miss Grace.
Oh, you're the best, Deacon.
Well, Deacon Judd, we appreciate you, my friend. Good luck to you and the Central Valley Thunder this year. Hopefully you can bring home that Section 3 championship. But even if you don't, you're a champion in our book.
Yeah,
We appreciate
sure.
you joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
All right,
Awesome
my friend.
job.
We'll see you.
Thank you for tuning in to another Love Living Local episode. Before you head out to support all things Central New York, we just have one ask of you. Please help us share the love we have for our community by sharing this podcast with a neighbor of yours. We truly appreciate you. In fact, you are one of the many reasons we love living local.